In my Medicare overview video, I discuss how original Medicare is made up of two parts. Part A, which covers inpatient hospitalizations, and Part B, which covers your outpatient medical services. Now that's just a general summary of those two parts. I do recommend to watch my Medicare overview video first to get a good idea of how Medicare does work overall, as well as check out the individual videos where I go into more detail about both those Part A and B coverages. Now, when it comes to original Medicare, Part A and Part B, most of your needs are taken care of in the coverage. However, there are some very well-known gaps in both Part A and Part B. So for Part A, you have three gaps. First is your deductible, then you have copays, and then there's the cost for skilled nursing. Part B also has three gaps. The first being your deductible, and once you meet your deductible, you're then responsible for 20% of all of your medical services. And then last are excess charges. These are additional charges that your provider may add on to his bill of service. Now, a special note about that 20% responsibility you have once you meet your deductible is that that is an uncapped amount. There is no max amount that you would pay in a year that would stop that responsibility. So for example, if you were to have $100,000 of medical expenses in the year, you'd be responsible for $20,000. Now that's a bit of an extreme case, but that is illustrating the fact there that, again, it is an unlimited obligation. So it's important to try to take care of that, as that can definitely add to your expenses throughout the year. So how do we deal with these coverage gaps in Medicare? Well, there's two ways to go about this. The first way would be to use a Part C or Medicare Advantage plan. The other would be to use a Medicare Supplement, also known as a Medi Gap Plan, again, filling in the gaps of Medicare. Now, I go into more detail about Part C Medicare Advantage plans in another video, but essentially what you would be doing with that option is exchanging your original Medicare Part A and B, which is government-sponsored insurance, in exchange for an insurance plan from a private company. These plans look very similar to coverage you may have had previously from an employer or your own individual plan, where there are copays, deductibles, max out-of-pocket amounts predefined. And again, these plans are offered by private insurance companies, so you have many different options you can compare and choose what's best for you. If you want more information about Medicare Advantage plans, check out my other video where I go into a lot more detail on how those plans work. So the other option that we're going to talk about today are Medicare Supplements, or MediGap Plans. And currently there are 12 total MediGap plans available. However, most only have access to 10 of those plans. MediGap plans also use a lettering system. Don't let this confuse you, as it has nothing to do with the letters of Medicare itself. So Medicare Part A has no correlation to a MediGap Plan A. It just happens to be that they both use lettering systems. Here in 2022, one of the more popular MediGap plans would be Plan G. This is the most comprehensive plan that's available to new enrollees. Now, if you were eligible for Medicare before January 1st, 2020, you would also be able to access Plan F, which is previously the most comprehensive plan available. But again, you're limited to get into that plan based upon when you were eligible for Medicare. The biggest difference between Plan F and Plan G was that Plan F covered the Part B deductible of $233, which was one of those gaps we discussed a little earlier. So Plan G does not cover that gap. However, Plan G is usually much cheaper than a Plan F, and what you pay in the difference of premium kind of counteracts what you would pay in that deductible. And since you have to always pay your premium, and you only pay your deductible when and if you need services, you could actually come out cheaper with a Plan G. So if you have a Plan F and you're in good health, it may even make some sense to go ahead and move over to a Plan G, but this is a case-by-case basis, as prices do vary quite a bit in different areas. Now, back to how Plan G works as far as the other gaps. So like I mentioned, Plan G is currently the most comprehensive plan available for all new enrollees, and so it's going to cover 5 of the 6 gaps. Again, the only gap that it's not covering is that Plan B deductible of $233. Aside from that, it is pretty much covering all of your other gaps. So with Part A, you have a deductible there of $1,556. That would be taken care of with your Plan G. You also have coinsurance for days that you spend in a hospital. That is taken care of by Plan G. And then you have costs for skilled nursing. Again, that is taken care of by Plan G. On the B side, you have your deductible, which that is not covered by Plan G. Then you have your 20% charge or co-insurance that you're responsible for. Plan G will take care of that for you. And then last, you have those excess charges. So Plan G will take care of that as well. What you're getting in return for paying that higher premium, you are definitely getting a lot of coverage there. So a simple way to look at the Medicare supplement approach is that you're going to pay in advance for your services and have a fixed cost more or less, knowing that, hey, I have to pay this monthly premium, but I'm not going to get hit with a huge bill down the line. The next most comprehensive plan would be MediGap Plan N. And this covers all the same thing as Plan G, except for the excess charges with Part B. There's also going to be co-pays for doctor visits and emergency room, where you could pay up to $20 per doctor visit and up to $50 for emergency room visits. Aside from that, the plans are very similar in what they cover. Now, why would we choose Plan N versus Plan G or Plan G versus Plan F if we're eligible to get that? And that just comes down to your monthly premium. These plans are all priced differently by different carriers in your area. And so, again, if your health is generally fairly well and you're not too worried about paying co-pays for the visits that you do happen to take, then going down to a Plan N may make sense for you and save you a little bit of money throughout the year. One way to reduce your monthly cost if you decide to go with a Medicare Supplement or MediGap plan is to choose a high deductible version of that plan. Now, there's only two plans that offer this option. That's going to be Plan F and Plan G. Again, Plan F is only going to be available if you were eligible for Medicare before 2020. So with a high deductible option, essentially you'll be exchanging your lower premium for a high deductible or an added deductible to the plan. Here in 2022, that deductible is going to be $2,490. So you would need to pay that amount before the plan starts to work. Again, this could be a good option if you're in very good health and you just want to have all those gaps filled as best as possible. So that's just a bit of insight on a few of the more common MediGap plans. Again, there are 12 total. There may be a different plan that's best for you that I haven't discussed here. For example, there is MediGap Plan D, which is very similar to Plan G. However, Plan G is usually much cheaper and therefore more cost effective. But again, each case is different, so it's worth it to take a little time to better understand these plans to find out what best suits your needs. Why would you choose to take a MediGap plan instead of just Original Medicare or a Medicare Advantage? The main reason to take a MediGap plan over just keeping Original Medicare is to fill in those gaps. So we're going to reduce some of our risk there by taking on this extra expense, hopefully lowering any risk of expenses down the line. When you go into a Medicare Advantage plan, the restrictions that you have there are that you're going to be in-network, and you're also going to be required to get pre-authorizations for some services. With the Medicare Supplement option, there are no networks, as it still is using your original Medicare Part A and B structure, and there are no pre-authorizations as long as that service has been recommended by a doctor that is approved to work with Medicare, then you can get your procedure done. So those are two of the big advantages to getting a Medicare Supplement over a Medicare Advantage plan. Another great feature of some MediGap plans are that they do cover foreign travel. So now that you're in your retirement years, if you anticipate doing a lot of traveling, it may make a lot of sense to have a MediGap plan that does add those traveling benefits. Another big thing to be aware of on why you would choose to take a MediGap plan over a Medicare Advantage plan, specifically when you're first eligible for Medicare, is that this is your one chance to get a MediGap or Medicare Supplement plan without answering any health questions. So if you are dealing with any major health issues, this will not affect the pricing that you get only when you're first eligible for Medicare. If you choose to enroll in a Medicare Supplement beyond your first eligibility for Medicare, well then you would have to answer health questions, and the status of your health would affect the rates of that MediGap plan you choose. This could greatly raise the cost of the MediGap plan that you have compared to if you were to enroll into it when you did not have to answer those health questions. So this is something very important to take into consideration, and even something you may want to think about if you don't have health issues initially. As you get older, you may develop those health issues. And while again, paying that larger premium up front, it could really save you money down the line in the coverage that you get by not having to pay as you go for services that you need. So when it comes to purchasing your MediGap plan, you do have the peace of mind of knowing that these plans are standardized and regulated. And what that means is that Plan G from Company A is the same as Plan G from Company B. However, there may be differences in cost between the two companies. So if you have a lower cost from company B for your plan G, well, it probably makes sense to buy that lower cost plan since you know that is the same exact product as the plan G from the higher cost company. Just make sure that the company you buy from has a good history, and if you're able to confirm that and they have the lower cost between another, I think it's a pretty safe bet to go for that cost savings when available. Medicare supplement plans will have rate increases year to year. It may be worth it to shop against different companies as their increases may be different. Costs of supplements do vary quite a bit, even from county to county, state to state, and even obviously company to company. So it does make sense to work with a broker as they can help you interpret all this data very easily. If you happen to move from one location to another, you may want to reshop your plan. And again, a broker can help you with that to make it an easier process for you overall. If you still have any questions or there's something that's still not clear, just add a comment below, or you can email me directly. My email is in the description along with a link to my calendar. There you can set up a free 30-minute consultation to speak with me one-on-one about your particular needs. If there's something that you'd like to see me cover in future videos, feel free to let me know. I always appreciate those suggestions. And be sure to check out some of my other content on the channel where I do go into more depth in topics about Medicare as well as other insurance products. I appreciate you viewing today. Thanks for watching. If you found the information in this video helpful, you know what to do.